Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, you're welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe before you go and click on the bell. Thank you so much. So in my last update about This Is Fate, Kritika saw Prithvi in Dr. Dipali's house as Sherlin's husband, but as usual, Prithvi managed to escape from that, and Prithvi went to threaten Karan that he will send Karan back to the prison. That was our last update. Let's continue from there. Mahira ends the call and Pami walks behind her. Mahira gets furious, asking that why did Pami lie to her, because she just talked with her mother and her mother said that her father did not ask for her. Pami tries to say that Mahira's mother might be lying to Mahira, but Mahira assures Pami that her mother cannot lie to her. Pami says that she cannot understand why Mahira is still in the Luthra house, because Mahira said that she came for Karan, but now Mahira is trying to trap Samir. Mahira tries to say that she doesn't know what Pami thinks because she doesn't have any interest in Samir. But Pami says that Mahira should always stay away from Karan as well because Karan is also married, and in their family, there is no ritual of getting married 2 times like the way it is in Mahira's family. Mahira lives there calling Pami a mad woman, and this got Pami worried and she started shouting at Mahira. Raki was on the call with Grandma and Grandma asked Raki that why did she not inform her that Karan has come back from the jail. Raki says that she was nervous that Grandma might scold her, but Grandma replies that she would never scold Raki for this step because Raki has taken the best step and this is really courageous and she would always be proud of her. Grandma explains to Raki that the grandchildren are the lifeline of the grandparents and Raki must bring the entire family back to the Luthra mansion because she has come to know that the police are searching for Karan, so they should all be coming to the Luthra house. Raki gets worried and she immediately stops Karan, saying that Grandma is really sick and she really wants to see Karan, so they all must leave for the Luthra mansion. And Raki advised Prita to call everyone to the parking lot. Karina and Grandma were anxiously waiting, and Karina asked Grandma to call them instead of wandering here and there. Raki was about to dial the number, but Karan walks into the house with the rest of the family, and they all greet each other. Karan explains that Raki said that Grandma was sick, but what has happened? Raki signals to Grandma not to say anything, and Grandma replies that she was really missing Karan. Karina also says that she really missed everyone, and Karan leaves saying that he needs to rest, but Karan refused to go to his room. Prithvi gets suspicious of where Karan might be going to. Karina advised that they should all rest while she will send the coffee, but Pami stops her. Prithvi, working on the hall, calls the police station, informing them that Karan is in the Luthra mansion. The inspector warns Prithvi not to joke with the police because there is no one in the Luthra house. Prithvi explains to the police that the last time he called, he informed them that Karan Luthra was in the Luthra villa, but now they have reached the Luthra mansion, and the entire Luthra family is involved with Karan in the escape, including Shrishti and Samir, but there are 2 people that are not involved, and they are Sherlin and Prithvi. The entire family were waiting, and Girish comes there hurrying to them, and they all ask that what happened, and Prita asks if he saw the police, and hearing this, everyone gets worried and they all stand up. Mahesh started scolding them, asking that if they have any idea of what sort of scandal they have done and they have created because Karan is a celebrity and the public would further investigate the incident without proper knowledge. Grandma stops Mahesh, asking that why is he using such harsh words, and everyone were quiet and Karina appreciates Grandma. Shriti says that she has a plan and Prita stops Shriti, but Raki allows Shriti, and Shriti says that they can hide Karan in the water tank, and when the police come and they did not see Karan, then they would leave. Raki agrees, and so they asked Prita to accompany Shriti while everyone else were really worried. The family were waiting and there was a knock on the door and they all were really worried, and Raki was walking and Prita was following her. Mahira stops Shriti, asking if there is anything because she seems worried. Prithvi also comes there asking that what has happened and if the police has arrived. Mahira was worried and she asked that why did Prithvi not let her meet Karan earlier, because now Karan would once again be arrested. Raki comes there calling Prita, saying that Karan is not in his room. Prithvi says that he saw Karan going downstairs and the police arrived before Raki was able to call Karan, and Karan calls Prita, saying that the inspector is waiting for her. Prithvi was waiting and Sherlin comes to him asking that what has happened. Prithvi says that the police has arrived, and Sherlin was worried, wondering how did the police come to the house when Prithvi informed them earlier that they were in the Luthra villa, And Prithvi tells Sherlyn that he was the one that gave the police the information, after which they came to the house. And Sherlyn says that she felt worried anytime she is around Karan. Prithvi says that Sherlyn should not be a coward, and Sherlyn must not be worried anytime he is around her, because they always keep their victory in their hands, and they both then leave to watch the drama in the hall. The police ask Prithvi about the whereabouts of Karan, and Raki asks that why are they questioning Prithvi when it was their job to find Karan. The inspector warns the Luthras not to play game with them because they know how to perform their jobs, and the inspector asks for Karan's room. And Raki thinks that how would they find Karan when he was not even in the house. And Raki offers to take the police to Karan's room, and they all leave for Karan's room. Prithvi was in the hall and he informs Sherlyn to keep a close eye on everything, and if he sees Karan anywhere, then he should test him while he would inform the police, and Prithvi leaves without listening to anyone. Shrishti started crying. Mahesh asked that what happened. Shrishti apologized, explaining that she is the reason for this, and had she not kidnapped Karan, then nothing would have happened. Grandma asked Shrishti not to worry because she has done nothing wrong, and Karan is with them because of Shrishti. Karina also explains that she is glad that Karan is with them, and she doesn't care what is right and wrong. Mahira, stepping in, explains that she is also glad that Karan came back, but they must accept that the way that Shrishti has chosen is wrong, and Pami asks that why does Mahira not remain quiet at least. Raki and Prithvi were working with the police to Karan's room. Prithvi stops the constable, saying that they will not find Karan in his room because he is downstairs, and they started searching the room, and Kritika walks out of the bathroom. Kritika was worried and she asks that what are the police doing in their house. The inspector says that Karan is not in the room, and they started searching the rest of the house. Kritika asks Prithvi that what are the police doing in their house. Prithvi explains that someone informed the police that Karan is in the Luthra house, and Kritika was worried and she leaves Prithvi alone in the room. Prithvi, standing in the room, plans to do something because the police will not be able to find Karan on their own, and Prithvi thinks if the Luthras has already informed Karan and he has already run away. Prithvi started searching in the hall and he was not able to find Karan, and he wonders where Karan might have gone to after saying that he needed some fresh air. And Prithvi says to himself that he only wants the police to see Karan, and if the police refuse to arrest Karan, then Karan will partner with Prithvi, and then surely Karan and Prithvi might plan against him and they might ruin his plan. Prithvi sees Karan walking, and so Prithvi eyes and he tries calling the police, but when Karan walks past beside him, Prithvi stops Karan, asking if Karan has freshened up because this is what Karan said. Karan asks Prithvi if Prithvi realized that he is ignoring him because he is a waste of time. Prithvi says that that is very disrespectful, and Karan should not say that to him, and it can really be bad for Karan, so if he decides, then it can ruin Karan for life. Karan raises his hand to slap Prithvi, but just then, Karan stops and he wants Prithvi to live a respectable life with Kritika, and Karan warns Prithvi that he should not get any complaint from Kritika, otherwise Prithvi doesn't know what he would do to him. Karan says that the only reason he is resisting Prithvi is because Prithvi is married to Kritika, otherwise he would have beaten Prithvi, and Prithvi would never even be able to step foot in their house. Prithvi, after Karan leaves, thinks that Karan will now head back to the jail with an additional charge, and he wishes that it will be played on every news channel that Prithvi Malhotra has sent Karan Luthra back to the jail and protected the country. Prithvi says that when the police will take Karan back to the jail and throw him in the cell, then Karan will realize that he has lost the battle against him, and after some time, Prithvi wonders how does he even talk to himself, and Prithvi leaves from there to see when Karan is taken away after being arrested by the police the second time. The constable says that Karan is not in any of the room, and Karan comes there from the front door. The inspector says that they've been waiting for Karan, and Karan agrees to leave with the police, but Karan insists on talking with Mahesh before he leaves, and Karan asks Mahesh to pay for the constable's hospital bill. The inspector asks that why did Karan come back to the house to tell them this little information. Shrishti tries to explain, but Karan stops Shrishti and says that the jeep that was transferring him to another jail got into an accident and the constables were injured, so he took the constables to the hospital, but he did not have any cash on him and he did not have his phone as well, so that was why he came back to the Luthra house to tell them. The inspector blames Karan, saying that Karan is lying because they got the information that Karan was trying to run away. Karan says that if his family were involved in his escape, then they would have sent him out of the country. The inspector says that they got a tip that Shrishti was also involved, but Karan refused the claims, and the inspector says that he doesn't like celebrities because of their position, but he believes that Karan is an honest person, and Karan did not even leave the constable to die, and Karan is even honest. Preetha and Karan had a flashback of the time that they both planned that Karan should surrender to the police, and Preetha says that she used to think differently for Karan. The inspector says that he came to the Luthra mansion filled with anger, and he thought that he would arrest the entire family because they were involved in breaking the law. And the inspector, turning to Raki, explains that Raki has given her children a really honest upbringing. Raki started crying, and she says that she accepted that they have made a mistake, but Karan stops Raki from saying anything further. Prithvi was furious that his plan backfired because Karan was supposed to be humiliated. The inspector ordered the constable to bring Karan to the jeep. Karan started meeting the family to say his final goodbye, and Shrishti was not able to stand without hugging Karan. And after that, Karan turns to Preetha and assures her that he would come back to the house and there's no need to worry. Raki also hugs Karan, and Karan stops seeing Prithvi, who asks that why did Karan come back to the house, but Karan refused to reply him and Karan leaves. The entire family were sad that Karan was arrested once again, and Preetha follows Karan, but Karan says that he is glad that Preetha came to talk with him. Preetha says to Prithvi that she knows that Prithvi will be glad that Karan has been arrested now, but it is not nice that it was Prithvi that called the police to get Karan arrested. Prithvi asks Preetha that why does Preetha always have to talk about Karan, and he is the only one that loves Preetha, and he doesn't even care for anyone else apart from Preetha. Preetha says that she doesn't even think that Prithvi is really worthy of living in the family, and Prithvi must not think that they are stupid, because that is not the case. And Preetha wants Prithvi not to think that he is really clever, and Prithvi must stay away from her. And Preetha turns and she saw Shelin standing there, and Preetha also wants Shelin to be careful, and Preetha leaves. Shelin comes to Prithvi and says that she feels that Preetha will create a big scene during the court hearing because Preetha's intention do not seem right. Prithvi assures Shelin that there's nothing to worry about, and he just needs some time to prepare for their enemies. In the night, Preetha and Kritika were standing, and Raki was going out of the house in a hurry. Preetha asks that where is Raki going to? Raki says that she has left the medical box of Mahesh in their old house, and she might have forgotten it because of the hurry, so she is going back there to pick it. Preetha stops Raki, offering to go with Raki, but Raki was worried and she says to Preetha that she would go alone. Kritika offers to be with Preetha, and Prithvi also calls them from behind, saying that the car is ready. Preetha says that they can go with the driver, but Kritika seeks permission from Preetha to allow Prithvi to go with them. Shelin also asks Raki to go with them, but Prithvi says no, saying that Shelin must take some rest, but Shelin insists on going with them, and Raki allows Shelin, saying that Shelin must come back to the house and she must not get tired, and Shelin agrees. Then Preetha asks Prithvi to come, and Kritika tries to talk with Prithvi, but Prithvi leaves without talking to Kritika, and Kritika feels that Prithvi might still be angry with her. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching till the end. Please, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, share it, comment, and please subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.